Welcome to the ultimate guide on how to play Warmachine. Today we'll be diving into the epic battles of steam-powered warjacks and powerful warcasters set in the Iron Kingdoms. Whether you're new to the game or looking to sharpen your skills, this guide will take you through the core rules, gameplay phases and strategies needed to get started. In this tutorial, we have Stephen commanding the forces of Cygnar, known for their advanced technology and precise tactics. The Cygnar forces are equipped with formidable warjacks that dominate in close combat. Facing off against him is Micheal Costello, leading the mighty Kador. The Kador forces are built around sheer brute strength and resilience, with heavily armoured warjacks with powerful ranged attacks. This clash will be a true test of strategy and strength. Micheal will also be teaching Stephen how to play Warmachine, guiding him and you through the rules and tactics of the game. For today's game, Stephen and Micheal will be playing a version of the recon scenario. In this scenario, players compete to control key points on the battlefield, earning points for holding objectives and positioning their forces strategically. Each turn, players can score points by controlling objectives or objective terrain. The player who can dominate the battlefield by controlling the most objectives while eliminating their opponent's key units will come out on top.
So Micheal, we're playing the mission Recon. What happens next?
First, we need to determine who's going to be taking the first turn every single battle round. And that means we've got to roll off, Steve.
Okay, and how do you do that?
So we're going to take one dice each, and we're going to roll it into the box. Okay, I've rolled a 5.
And I've rolled a 4.
That means I've won the roll off, so I can choose who's going first or second. And I'm going to pick you to go first.
All right, sounds good. So what do I do next?
Now you've got to deploy your army. There are some fancier advanced rules. We're just going to deploy our armies completely within our deployment zone.
And where's our deployment zone?
For you, it's going to be 6 inches up from your table edge. And for me, it's going to be 11 inches up from my table edge. And that's because I'm going second and you're going first.
Are there any particular rules around the way I have to deploy my models in some sort of distance to each other? What would you recommend?
So I'd recommend deploying your warcaster first. This is Major Alistair Kane.
Okay, and anywhere along this line, completely within 6 inches?
Completely within 6, and I'd recommend somewhere central.
Okay, somewhere about there then.
Fantastic. So now you can deploy your warjack, Deuce, and I would set them up within 3 inches of Kane.
Okay. So within 3 inches and also within 6.
Next, you can deploy Falk, your solo. He can run around on his own, and remember that he can actually contest or score off some of the objectives on the map. So I'd set him up somewhere where he can move towards an objective.
That looks good.
Now you've got a unit to deploy. Units work slightly differently to models. Now these guys set up within 2 inches of each other, and they're going to move and activate as a unit.
Okay. And they're within 2 inches of each other.
Fantastic. It's now my turn to set up all of my models completely within 11 inches of my table edge. Now we're into the first turn after finishing our deployment, Stephen. We have 3 phases to go through. Let's start with the maintenance phase. That's the first one, and this is all about lingering effects. With the models we've got on the table, there's not going to be any lingering effects, and there aren't going to be for the rest of the game. So actually, we're going to skip the maintenance phase in future turns.
Okay, so no maintenance phase for this game. What's next?
Next is the control phase. This is very important. Your warcaster accrues focus points, okay? So you've got an arc value for Major Alistair Kane, which is 6.
Okay.
This means you get 6 focus tokens.
Okay.
You're going to put these next to Kane, and in the control phase, you can allocate these to friendly warjacks within your control range, which is that 12 that we mentioned during deployment. So before we allocate any tokens, warjacks have this rule called power up, which means they can generate their own token provided they're within the control range of their warcaster. In this case, Deuce can generate one within range of Kane. They do need to have a functional cortex for this, which can be damaged later in the game. We'll cover that when we come to damaging warjacks. Now, Kane can allocate focus to Deuce. I'd recommend 1 at this stage, because Deuce has a special rule where when he activates in the activation phase, he's going to generate 1 whilst he's within 3 inches of a friendly gun mage, which is the rest of your army. Finally, the third phase is the activation phase, Steve, and you are going to activate all of your models. They're going to move, and then they're going to shoot. But you're going to do this on a model by model basis. So you'll move a model, then you'll attack with that model, then you'll move on to the next model.
So is this kind of where our miniatures are going to start fighting, shooting, doing combat, and all the good stuff that we're looking forward to?
This is the core exciting part of the game where we actually get to roll some dice.
Sounds great.
So which model would you like to activate first?
I think I'm going to start just on the right-hand side and I'll move across.
Fantastic. So you've got a few different options here. First of all, you need to move, and then you can do some combat actions. We're a little far away, so we're probably not going to see any combat this turn. Falk here has a speed value of
6.
6. Now this means you can do a normal advance of 6, and this is just moving up to that 6 inches. Or you can run, which is your speed plus 5.
Okay.
Or you can charge, which is not going to be happening this turn. Or you can aim, where you stand still and you get plus 2 on your attack roll, which we'll cover in more detail later.
So we're just going to move into position this turn then and get on some objectives. Michael, the objective here, is it worth me making a run move towards it this turn, do you think?
Probably not. If you do move too far forward, I might be able to, in my turn, move and then make a combat action against you. I might be able to shoot you.
Okay, so I need to kind of stay outside of that range.
Yes.
In which case, I'm just going to make a advance move with Captain Falk then.
Fantastic. Now, we do score objectives from the second player's second turn, which means that actually being there early doesn't mean much.
Now, Captain Falk, he's only got a range of 8 on his gun, so I'm completely out of range. So I'm assuming I can't do anything else now?
Sadly not. If you did choose to run, though, you'd actually forfeit your combat action.
Okay, cool. So can I move on to the Black 13th?
So before you start moving them, you've actually got to pick one model in the unit and move them first.
Okay. Move on in the middle 6 inches.
Then what you do is actually pick the other 2 models up off the board
Okay,
and set them up again within 2 inches of the model you actually moved.
like that.
Fantastic. And you've just got to make sure that they're within 2 inches after you set them back up on the board.
Yep.
These guys could shoot. Do you have the range to be able to hit any of my models?
14, so I'm a little bit short still.
Okay, fantastic. Well then, you may as well move on to your next model.
So next I'm going to go with Deuce. He moves 6 inches as well.
Okay, fantastic. Deuce has a very cool rule, which allows him to get an extra focus token if he starts his activation within 3 inches of a gun mage, which is a keyword that all of your models have. Focus tokens on warjacks generally are used for more advanced movements. So if you want to run or charge with warjacks, you need to spend one of your focus points.
All right, I will make a run move just because I want to clear this kind of objective, and I'm just going to go up to that sort of 10 inches, and then that means I'm spending one of these in order to do that.
You got it.
Now it's time to move Warcaster Kane. I've got a speed of 7, so a little bit faster, so I'm just going to move up behind Deuce.
Warcasters are very special. They can actually cast spells, and they can do this at any point during their activation. If you run, though, your activation immediately ends. But because you haven't run, you can still do a spell after your move.
Okay, how do I do that?
So you can pick one of the spells available to you. I'd recommend Arcane Shield. And then what you're going to do is you're going to spend focus tokens equal to the cost value of that spell.
Okay, so the cost of Arcane Shield is 2.
Fantastic.
So I spend 2 of these.
You can spend 2 of those focus points to resolve the effects of Arcane Shield on a friendly model. And because it's a friendly model, you don't need to roll anything to see if it goes off.
All right, let's pick Deuce.
Fantastic. So this is going to give Deuce a bit of extra ARM, which is armor, and it's going to help him stay alive.
Sounds good to me. So is there anything else I can do, or is that the end of my turn?
You could cast more spells with Kane, but actually you can use focus points defensively on Warcasters, and you can actually negate 5 points of damage. And of course, it's important to keep your Warcaster alive, because if they die, you lose the game.
All right, so I'm definitely going to keep these alive then.
Good choice. So now I'm going to move all of my models. I'm not going to be in range, and then we'll move on to your turn 2 where the action is going to happen. During all of my activations, when Volkal activates, I'm going to spend 3 of her focus points to cast a spell, Fog of War. This has a 12-inch aura. It is going to give concealment, which gives me extra defense on my units. However, because of a special rule called Prowl, if Stephen tries to shoot my units from more than 5 inches away, he'll automatically miss.
In Warmachine, the bond between a Warcaster and their Warjacks is the key to victory. Each Warcaster generates focus points that can be used to power up their Warjacks, cast devastating spells, boost their own attacks, and bolster their defences. But remember, if your Warcaster falls, the game is over, and your opponent will be the victor.
So Michael, it's my turn again now, is that correct?
That is right.
And we don't need to do the maintenance phase.
Nope.
So it's now the control phase. And do we refresh our tokens, or do we stick with the ones that we already have?
So you refresh back up to your arc stat, which is again 6 for Kane.
So Michael, before I start activating my models, I want to know how I score points and win this game.
Okay, so we score points starting from my second turn as the second player. Now, as you know, you can win the game by killing your opponent's warcaster, but the other way to win the game is to have 3 more victory points than your opponent at the end of their turn. And on this game, we're going to get 1 victory point for each objective marker or objective terrain that we control. And we're going to score this every turn starting from my second one.
Okay, and how do I control an objective marker then?
For the 32mm markers, you're going to need your leader or a solo within 3 inches and no enemy models within 3 inches. And for the objective terrain, it's 2 models or more within 2 inches. And again, no enemy models within 2 inches.
All right, cool, got it.
In addition to this, if your leader's within range of an objective marker, they can't stop your opponent holding it.
Well, now I know how I can score some points. I need to do my control phase, and I want to cast that arcane shield again. So can I do this before I move my models?
Yes, so all of your control phase is going to include your upkeep spells, and Arcane Shield is an upkeep spell. So actually, instead of casting it again, you can just spend 1 focus token, and then you keep that spell going.
All right, let's do that.
Fantastic. And remember, you can also, in this phase, allocate focus tokens to Deuce, your Warjack.
I'll get 1 focus point for powering up, and then I'll allocate 1 from Kane.
Fantastic. And now we can move on to your activation phase.
Combat in Warmachine is fast-paced and brutal. Players roll dice to determine attacks, comparing their rolls to their opponent's defense stats. Hits are followed by damage rolls, and any damage taken is recorded on the Warjack's damage grid. The more damage a Warjack takes, the more of its critical systems, like weapons or movement, will be disabled.
Well, I want to start with Deuce first, so I'm going to move them forward. I want to stay within 2 inches of this terrain feature.
Smart.
And I'll take my focus and Michael. I want to do some shooting because I've got an awesome cannon. I've got RNG on my profile for range of 12 inches. So
Fantastic.
I'm within 12 inches of either your solo or your unit. I think I want to shoot this unit.
Also important to note that I've got this fancy spell going on Fog of War, but you've got a cool rule called True Sight, so you completely ignore that. So you can go ahead and shoot at my hounds.
And how do I do that?
First off, you've got to pick a ranged weapon. You've got the Spellstorm Cannon here. This does have different attack types, and you do normally have to choose one. But for the purposes of this tutorial, none of these attack types are effective in this situation, so we're just going to go through a normal ranged attack. Now we need to look at your rate of fire, or ROF, which is
1.
Okay, so this means you can only make 1 attack sequence with this weapon.
Okay.
Then we need to look at your RAT, your ranged attack.
Which is 7.
Okay. So now what you need to do is pick one of my models. It is a unit, but you always fire and use models 1 at a time.
Right, this guy here with the Gatling gun.
Fantastic choice. So now you need to roll 2 dice. And all attack sequences involve 2 dice unless you have fancy rules going on.
And what do I need to get?
So you need to roll 2 dice, add on your RAT, and then we'll compare it to my defense.
Okay, so this is like me trying to hit you?
Exactly that.
Okay. I've rolled a 4 and a 5.
So if we add those dice to your ranged attack, what do we get?
16.
Fantastic. Now my defense is 14. In order to hit me, you need to equal or beat 14 with your dice plus your rat, which you have. So now that you've hit me, we need to see if you actually do any damage.
Okay.
So what's the POW, the power of your weapon?
14, Michael.
14 power. Fantastic. So once again, you're going to roll 2 dice and add it to your power.
All right, I've rolled another 4 and a 5, another 9.
Okay, so 9 plus your 14.
23.
My armor, or ARM, is what we need to compare to this to see if I take damage. For these guys, the hounds, they've got an ARM of 15, but in base-to-base contact, they have fancy rules, and they actually got +2 to that. So it's an ARM of 17.
Okay, very cool.
So the difference between your overall sum and my armor is how much damage I take.
6.
6. So I'm going to take 6 points of damage. I've got 8 per each of these models. So one of my models, the guy with the Gatling gun, has only 2 health remaining.
So Michael, what else can I do? Is that it? Is the go over?
Normally it would be, but you have a special rule, reload 1.
Okay.
This allows you to spend 1 focus token to actually shoot again.
All right, well, that sounds good, so let's do that. Also here, it says I've got a thing called Powerful Attack.
Yes.
When attacking with this weapon, this model can spend 1 focus point to boost all attacks and damage rolls for the attack.
Okay.
Can I do both of these?
You could do both of these, absolutely. It'll cost you, of course, another focus token.
Sounds good to me.
Boosting is a term we have for actually adding another dice into the dice roll. So when you attack now, you're going to roll 3 dice instead of 2.
So I now need to hit you again.
That's right.
So my ranged attack is 7 plus an additional 11. So I believe that is more.
That is definitely equal to or more than my 14 defense, yes.
Right, cool. So now I need to do the damage.
And again, this is boosted, so you get another dice.
Okay, Michael. So I've got POW of 14 plus 5, 6, 7. So 21 in total.
21. My armor, as we said, is 19. So that's going to do 2 damage, and it's actually going to destroy my model. Before I destroy my model, I do have a rule called Tough. This allows me, when I've been disabled, that is taken out of action or lost all your health, on a 5 or more, I actually just go prone and I heal 1 of my damages, so I don't actually die. So we're going to see if that happens, and it doesn't. So I do just remove the model as normal. All of your gun mages that are within the control range of Kane actually ignore that rule. So bear that in mind, it's just Deuce that doesn't.
So that's Deuce now completely finished. And I'm now going to move on to the rest of my army.
So you're all going to be out of range, or you simply can't target me because of my Fog of War. So we'll move quickly through all of your activations and then on to my turn.
Sounds good.
Now that we've finished your activation phase, it's over to my turn, and it's my maintenance phase, then my control phase, and I've just given 3 focus tokens to Razor, my Warjack. Now in the activation phase, I'm going to use Lazarenko, and he has line of sight and range to your Warjack Deuce.
Okay.
Because I'm in range, I'm going to aim as my move activation, and that's going to give me +2 on my attack roll. First, I need to see if I hit you. What's your defense?
My defense is 13, Michael.
13. So 2 dice. Gives me a 6 plus my range attack of 7. So that's going to give me 13 plus 2 as well, but that already equals or exceeds your defense. So I've hit you. So now I need to roll for damage, but I have a special rule here called brutal damage, which allows me to roll an extra dice.
Okay.
Added to the result.
Nice.
So 3 dice, which is going to give me 10, 12, plus my ranged, my power, 14.
Okay.
It's going to give me a 26.
Okay, well, my arm is only 18, Michael.
Well, actually, it's a bit more than that.
Okay.
You've got a little buckler on your right hand,
Okay.
which gives you +1, and you'll see a +1 in the shield symbol on your card. And then remember, you've got that arcane shield, so you get +3 more armor because of that spell.
Oh, cool.
So that's going to put your total at 22. So my 26 compared to your 22 means 4 points of damage.
Okay, so I just remove my health by 4 like you did earlier?
It's a little more complex than that because Warjacks have a lot of health and you can actually damage specific parts of them. If on the app you tap the health characteristic,
Okay, yep.
you'll see a grid, lots of boxes, and there'll be some letters in some of those boxes as well.
Yeah, I see that, yep.
Then in the top right, you can tap another button that's kind of an edit symbol. Now this allows you to apply the damage in specific areas of the Warjack. Normally you'd roll a dice, and you'll see that there's a number under each column.
Oh, 1 to 6, yeah.
Exactly, and it'd be a random column that gets damaged. In this case, because Lazarenko has a fancy rule, he can pick the column.
Okay.
So I'll pick column 2.
Okay.
So if you tap 2 on the app,
Yep.
and then hit the plus button until you reach 4. And then if you hit accept,
Okay, yep.
they'll go fully red and you'll be able to see that that damage has been applied.
Now, you've covered up 2 L's and 2 blank columns. What do these different letters mean?
So L is your left weapon system,
Okay.
R is your right weapon system, M is your movement capability, H is your head, and C is your cortex that affects being able to take focus tokens.
Right, okay, so I'm going to guess here. I'm going to go out on a limb. If all of my L's are covered up, does that mean that's sort of negatively affected then?
Yes, that weapon system will be crippled on your left arm and it will be a lot less useful on the table.
Okay, cool, sounds good.
And that actually ends Lazarenko's activation. In my activation phase, the hounds moved up and shot at Deuce. Sadly did nothing thanks to his armor value. Then I activated Razor. I fired the grenade launchers at the Black 13th, managed to kill one of the models, Watts, did some splash damage as well to the rest of the models in the vicinity, and then fired my slug cannon at the unit I missed initially, then used that reload 1 ability to fire again, used some focus to boost the dice, and managed to kill Glover as well. Then Vilkul moved up behind Razor, and I ended my activation phase.
Now you've done your turn, Michael, and that was pretty brutal. I wasn't expecting you to kill 2 of my models, and those grenades are super powerful, just splash damage everywhere. Surely we score some points now.
We do finally score some points. Stephen, do you have a solo or your leader within range of your 32 marker?
Yes, I do.
So you get 1 point.
Excellent.
Do you have 2 or more models within range of your building?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. Another point. I have the very same, so we're sitting here now with 2 victory points each.
All right, I like it.
Both Stephen and Mike's warcasters have powerful abilities called feats, which can only be used once per game. Feats can turn the tide of battle in a single moment, so timing is critical. Watch as Stephen uses his Cygnar warcaster's feat to bolster his forces, while Mike unleashes the raw power of Kador's warcaster to wreak havoc on the battlefield.
So it's my turn 3, it's time for my maintenance and then my control phase, right?
That's right, and in this turn we're going to show off one of the coolest rules in Warmachine called a feat. All warcasters get them, they're once per game. Kane has one called Arcane Conflagration, and it's going to make all of your attacks so much better.
Okay, cool. This sounds awesome.
What you'll first need to do though is activate Kane, because only when he activates can he use his feat.
And we do this in exactly the same way. I've already generated my 6 tokens, and of course, obviously I need to ensure that Deuce has got 2, right?
Correct. 1 from powering up, 1 from Kane, and 1 spent on spell upkeep. Now that control phase is done, you can activate all your models, but bear in mind your feat won't take place until you declare and activate Kane.
Okay.
Who would you like to start with?
All right, I think I'm going to start off with Deuce, because your models here are looking very dangerously close to me, and I want to get in combat, and I want to do some damage.
Okay.
And I've just looked at Arcane Conflagration, and it says it only works on ranged attacks. So I think I can go now, do some damage in combat, and then resolve some ranged attacks later.
Fantastic. So remember, you'll get that focus token because you've activated next to a gun mage.
So how do I make a charge?
Because you're a warjack, you will have to spend a focus token to make a charge. Any kind of advanced or quick moves require you to spend a focus token. So the one you just got, you can immediately spend it. A charge move is your speed value plus 3.
Okay.
And you have to move in a direct line towards the target of your charge.
And how close do I need to get to you?
In order to make a successful charge, you need to be in melee range by the end of that move. And you can find this on your melee weapon. It should tell you what its range is.
Okay, 1 inch.
Fantastic. So long as you end that charge move in a direct line within 1 inch of your charge target, you are in combat of them.
Okay, we fight through this wall and within 1 inch.
Fantastic. It looks like you're in combat with both of them because you do have the potential to make multiple attacks. Because you've got some other special rules, you're able to also shoot when you're in combat.
So now I've made a charge, Michael. What happens now?
Now you make your first basic attack from that charge move.
Okay.
One thing to note though is your damage roll is boosted because you've just charged.
What about my hit roll?
Your hit roll's not boosted, but you could spend another focus token to boost it.
Absolutely.
Right. So you've got a melee weapon, and it should have a melee attack characteristic.
It's the Crescent Blade, and it's got an MAT of 7.
Fantastic. So you're now going to roll 2 dice plus the boost, so 3 dice. Now I will get +2 defense because my base is obscured by this obstruction, this wall just in front of Deuce.
That's an 11, plus 7 is 18.
Definitely hits me. So now you've got your damage roll, which is naturally boosted by the charge.
Nice. So I've rolled quite a lot there, actually. That looks like a good, healthy roll. That's 12, plus another 4. That's 16, plus 15 is 31, if my math's correct.
31 is going to deal 12 damage to me.
Excellent.
Which will kill me. However,
yes?
I do have tough, so on a 5+, I'll just stand back up.
No chance.
Sadly, I've failed once again, so you do kill the model.
You're not that tough, are you?
Clearly not.
Okay, is there anything else I can do with Deuce?
Yes, you've got a couple of different options with Deuce. You can shoot, even though you've made melee attacks in the same activation, because you have a special called dual action. Or you can spend 1 focus point and make a melee attack, again, with a weapon you've already used.
Right. I think I'm going to go for the shooting attack.
Okay.
I want to use the Spellstorm Cannon. And I've got this really cool ability called Beat Back that I want to try as well, where it actually pushes you away if I don't kill you.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic. Normally, there'd be some penalties to hit me at this range because you're in combat with me. But you've got the pistol ability, so you can ignore that.
And also there's a wall between us as well, right?
There is. So boost your attack roll.
I think that sounds like a good idea.
And you'll definitely be able to hit me.
So I've rolled an 11, which gives me a total of 18.
So you definitely hit me. Even with the wall in the way, I'm defense 18. So now we're on to that damage roll.
Okay. I've got a POW of 14.
Okay.
Plus 7 is 21.
So you got 21 compared to my armor of 15, which means I take 6 damage. Fidinic then gets pushed back from your beat back ability 1 inch. So steps back. I'm no longer in combat with you, which is very useful for perhaps some other units.
So that means I can now activate Kane and hopefully destroy your model. Michael, I want to use this feat with Major Alistair Kane. How do I do that?
His feat, Arcane Conflagration, is going to buff all of the weapons for everybody around him within his control range. Now, there are some special buffs in there that don't really affect any models on the table. However, the important one is +2 power on your ranged attacks, but also you can pick 2 of your attack types instead of just 1 to apply each time you shoot.
That extra 2 damage sounds awesome. Right, so what I'm going to do here is I want to see if I can kill both of these models. It's a big ask, but maybe I can do it with this feat.
You are getting dangerously close, but there is a spell that Kane knows called Teleport.
Right, and how does that work?
So you can use the spell at any point during your activation. So you could move, do all of your shooting, and then teleport away. Just make sure you got the focus for it.
Right, okay, so not spend all of my focus and save enough so I can teleport away.
Exactly.
Got it. Right, well, I'm going to make a move first of all, just to the other side of that wall, and get within that close range to make sure I can shoot with my pistols.
Yes, absolutely.
Now I'm going to use my Spellstorm pistol here, and the attack type that I'm going to go for is that Heart Seeker. That's the really one that I want, that extra dice and also the extra damage. And while I'm at it, I may as well use some Thunderbolt as well to see if that's relevant.
Go for it.
All right, so we're going to see if I can hit you first. My RAT is 9. So Michael, I've rolled an 8 plus 9. That is a total of 17.
Cool, that definitely hits me.
Okay, awesome. Right, so now I roll 3 dice for damage. Right, Michael, I've rolled 2 6s and a 1. I'm going to discard the 1, so that gives me a total of 14 with the +2 modifier that you mentioned because of the feat, plus another 12. That's a lot of damage.
It's a lot of that. It's too much damage for me, Steve. And unfortunately, Fidiniak is slain. I would roll for tough, but you have this special rule called Headshot, which does not allow me to use that rule. So I'm simply disabled and removed from the board.
Nice. Okay, now I've destroyed that one. I want to try and shoot Lazarenko. Is he outside of that 12 inches of that spell?
Yes, so Fog of War is active, but I'm outside of 12, so I don't get the concealment and I don't get the prow to give me stealth. So you can shoot me.
Okay, that's good. Right, in that case, I'm going to target Lazarenko with my other Spellstorm pistol now.
Okay.
And I'm going to go for the attack types of Heartseeker and also Thunderbolt.
Okay, cool.
All right, and let's see with that extra damage if I can kill Lazarenko. So can I hit you? My RAT is 9, plus 6, that's 15.
Okay, that does hit me.
Okay, and now I roll 3 dice for the damage roll. Oh, actually, can I boost it, Michael, if I spend a focus point?
You could boost the damage.
Let's boost it.
Okay. Oh no.
Okay, well, I've rolled quite a lot. I'm going to get rid of the 1 because of Heartseeker. So that gives me a total of 4, 8, 12, plus another 12 is 24, Michael.
24, and then plus 2 for your feet
Yes.
is 26. Okay.
Yeah.
I've only got armor 14.
Right.
So you're going to do 12 damage to me anyway. Again, I'm tough, but you're really good with your guns, so I am simply removed from the board.
All right, now that would have cost me a point of focus to do that.
That's right.
And now I want to use that teleport power to get out of dodge.
So do you have the focus for it?
Yes, I do. It's going to cost me 2, and now I can move 6 inches. And now it's over to my other activations.
Now it's over to your other activations. One thing important to note, though, is to hold the building, you need 2 models near it.
So Michael, that concludes my turn, and it's going to be over to you. And I did manage to do 4 points of damage to your Warjack with the Captain Falk using his almighty gun, which actually got extra damage against you because you're a construct. So you've taken 4 on column 2.
I have indeed, and at the end of your turn, we're both going to score points. Now, you've been very sneaky. You've actually killed my solo, so I'm not going to get any points for this objective, but I'll get 1 for my building.
And I get another 2.
And you get another 2, so that'll put you on 4 to my 3.
Nice.
It's my turn 3. As we go through the phases, control phase, I'm going to get 6 tokens on Vilkul. She's then going to give 2 to Razor, and Razor, of course, generates 1 himself. And then I'm going to start my activation phase. I'm going to activate Vilkul first, my warcaster.
Okay.
She's going to use her feat. So So again, once per game. This one lasts a whole round, and essentially I spawn D3+3 cloud effect markers. These are 3-inch in diameter. All they're going to do is actually make it easier for me to hurt your models.
Great, this sounds brilliant.
And I can only place them with my control range.
Okay.
So in short, I'm essentially going to put one next to Bastion Falk.
Okay.
I could try and affect the Warjack, but actually it only affects living models, and Warjacks are constructs. There's nothing living inside of them.
Okay, cool.
So I'll just have the one on Falk, and then I'll move on to my activation. Vehicle's going to charge Bastion Falk.
Okay, cool.
So this is going to be my speed, which is 7 + 3, as we've seen before. And then I'm going to roll out my attacks.
Nice.
As I've charged, I'm going to make one basic attack versus Falk. So this is 2d6, which is 5 plus my melee attack of 7.
Okay.
What's Falk's defense?
15.
15. Okay, so I'm going to miss. So now I'm going to make a normal melee attack with my axe.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to invest 1 focus point into boosting this to try and make sure it hits you. So I've rolled a 12. Adding that to my 7 melee attack, that's definitely going to hit you.
Yep.
In order to damage you, I'm going to roll 2 dice, but I have a special ability called Weapon Master.
Okay.
Which means I roll another dice
Okay,
in order
cool.
to try to kill you. Now, because this is incredibly important, I'm going to invest another focus point
Oh, wow.
to boost this dice. So I've got 4 dice. So that's going to be 6, 12, 13, plus my power of 13, 26.
Well, I've only got 12 health, Michael.
I think he's dead.
Yes, because I've got 7 wounds remaining. So, yeah, Captain Falk, you are destroyed, sir.
That now leaves me with 1 focus token at the end of the activation. I've used 1 to use my axe again after making the attack from the charge. I've used 1 to boost the attack and another 1 to boost the damage roll as well to make sure Falk is destroyed.
And I need to make sure there because, of course, it affects the points and I want that objective.
Nice.
Now I'm going to activate Razor, and I'm going to charge and try and deal some damage to your Warjack Deuce. Razor's just gone in with the charge and done 8 damage to column 6 for Deuce, disabling his left arm. This means when Steve uses his left weapon, he's going to roll 1 less dice for his attack rolls and damage rolls. The rest of Razor's shooting did not touch Deuce's armor. Well, that's the end of my turn, Steve, and we've got to look at the table here for some points. You got your building still?
I do.
So you get another 1, so that'll put you on 5. I'm on that objective over there, so I'll get another 1 as well. So it's 4 to me, 5 to you.
All right, sounds good.
On to turn 4.
Victory in Warmachine comes from careful planning, efficient resource management, and strategic positioning. Stephen and Micheal's forces will clash as they fight to control the battlefield, aiming to score the most control points and dominate the objectives. However, in true Warmachine fashion, a daring last-minute assassination of the enemy warcaster can snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, turning the tide of battle in a single dramatic moment.
On to my turn 4 control phase. I'm going to get the 6 focus points for Kane. I'm then going to use Deuce and power up to get 1. And then I'm going to allocate 1 to Deuce as well. And I'm actually going to go after, now it's the activation phase, your warcaster over there.
This is dangerous, because if you do kill her, you win the game.
That sounds pretty good to me. I'm not going to spend any, by the way, on my arcane shield this time. I'm going to save all my raw power.
Very cool.
And I'm going to see if I can get in range to shoot you. So I'm going to move 7 inches.
Very good.
And now I'm going to unleash fury.
Before you shoot, I've got a very cool little trick you can do with Kane.
Okay.
One of his weapon types you can choose makes his spells automatically hit the target.
Okay, go on. Tell me more.
There is a spell called Calamity that Kane has access to that actually inflicts -2 defense and arm on the target.
Okay.
Which means you could do a lot more damage to me if you manage to get that off. So first of all, you just need to make your normal attack against me.
Is it worth me boosting here, Michael, to make sure I get the hit then?
Yes, 100%.
All right, well, I've definitely hit on the result of a 12 plus my RAT of 9.
You definitely have. So now it's time for the damage. Now the effect of now that you've hit me, your spell will automatically hit me after you finish this activation.
Okay, so I'm just going to roll 2 dice now. All right, I've rolled a 10 plus 12 is 22.
I've got armor 15, so you're now going to do 7 damage to me. I've only got 17 health.
But you've got one of these focus tokens. Can you actually use that to ignore 5 points?
I can, yes, and I will. So you're now going to do just the 2 damage to me, but I'm out of focus tokens.
Okay. So now I use this magical power?
Absolutely. So Calamity, what's the cost of Calamity?
3.
3. So it's going to cost you 3, but it is going to make me much easier to hurt.
Okay.
So now you can carry on and shoot with your other pistol.
Okay, cool. I've rolled a 9, plus my 9 is 18.
18, fantastic. My defense has been reduced by 2, so that will hit me.
For this shot, I'm going to go for the Heart Seeker attack type, and that's going to allow me to roll 3 dice and discard the lowest. Now, I can either boost here for extra damage or reload and shoot again. So I think I'll save it and reload and shoot again.
Wise choice.
Okay, here we go. The damage is a 5 plus 12.
Okay.
So that is a total of 17.
Okay, so my arm is normally 15, but you've reduced that by 2 as well. So it's 13. So I'm going to take 4 points of damage, which means I've taken 6 total.
I'm going to reload and do the exact same again. Here we go. Come on. Can I do an assassination? That's 5 plus 9 is 14.
That hits me.
Okay. That was close. Come on. I need to roll big now. That's not very big. That's only a 3. Plus the 12 is 15.
15. My armor is 13, so that's 2 more points of damage. So I've taken 8,
Okay.
but I still have 9 left.
Kane's failed. Can I now shoot you with Deuce?
Sadly not. Deuce would require a special rule in order to be able to shoot out of combat. If you're in combat, you can only shoot the person you're in combat with.
Right.
You could move out of combat, but if you do that, then you sacrifice your combat action for that activation phase. So sadly, Deuce cannot help you deal with my warcaster this turn.
Right, so it's going to have to be Ryan then.
It is indeed.
Right, Ryan, come on, you can do this. Move you forward. Now I'm going to shoot you. So the effect is still in, is that right? The magical
That's
power?
right. Calamity is still affecting me.
Right, here we go then. I'm going to use the attack type called brutal damage. So if I hit you, I get an additional die on the weapon's damage.
Okay.
Okay, well I've rolled an 11.
Very nice.
Plus 7.
I mean, my defense has been reduced, so that definitely hits me.
Cool, and now I get 3 dice. Come on. Oh no! Right, so that is 10, 15, 16.
16, I will take 3 points of damage
This is close.
because of Calamity.
Yeah.
I've only got 6 left.
Okay, I can fire again because I've got 2 pistols.
You can.
Okay, I've rolled an 11 again, so that's definitely hit you.
She's doing very well.
Come on. For the love of Mage Lock pistols and all your brutal damage. Okay, it's slightly better. That is 8, 9, plus 10 is 19, Michael.
19, my armor is 13. That's 6 damage,
Yeah?
and that will kill me. Normally, I would be able to stand back up again with that 5-up roll,
Yes?
but Kane here allows you to kill me instantly.
Yes!
So with the Warcaster dead, that is the end of the game. We don't need to resolve the rest of it. The Warjack shuts down, and the Cygnar have won the day.
Well, Michael, that was absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for teaching me Warmachine.
No worries, and I hope that everybody else can enjoy this wonderful game. Fantastic miniatures. They're all designed for multiple different options, so you can really customize them. And if you want a different style of play, you can try something called a Warlock, which works with Fury instead of Focus and commands War Beasts instead of Warjack. So a bit more of a primal theme there. But I've mega enjoyed this. Have you, Steve?
I have, and I can't wait to play my next game.
Fantastic.
That's the basics of Warmachine. Thank you for watching this Warmachine tutorial. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more strategy guides, gameplay tips, and epic tabletop action. See you on the battlefield.